Question everything, for the truth shall not be televised, and that's for sure. So with that, you had Martin Luther King's birthday, and you see what I put out, basically a couple of his interviews that he had, before his, demise based off of, these people taking him off the planet. And when you look at what he said about the "I Have a Dream" speech and leading us to a burning house, and the dream being actually a nightmare, that's his words. That's why I had to put that out there. Because if the "I Have a Dream" speech is a nightmare to Martin Luther King, and he said it out of his mouth that it was a nightmare for his people, which is us, then why do the system of the colonizers keep pushing this "I Have a Dream" speech all the time? Why do they promote something that the person that actually did the speech on said that it was a terrible speech for his people? What is that about? And do that says that Martin Luther King movement for his people was hijacked by the colonizers and white folks to use a narrative that necessarily wasn't good for us and still ain't good for us to this day? Is that a reality? Because when you look at what he doubled back on and said and started to approach and push on was economics, and how our people are being crushed under economic oppression that is being done on purpose by the pen, by these wealthy and rich colonizer system of the United States. Thus, that's why he said the federal government was giving out land all throughout the Midwest for his European white peasants coming over to get them an economic floor, building them up, giving them a structure to be able to stand on economically, building land grant colleges, allowing them to go to school free. At the same time, he said, telling the Negro to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, even though we ain't had no boots on in the first place, because we was emancipated or proclamated without no tangibles, without no money, without no wealth, without nothing. In other words, you came out of the chopping fields or the slave fields with nothing. And when you pulled yourself up by the bootstraps that you didn't have on, first you had to build the boots, make the boots, get the strings, put them on, and then when you did all that on your own, built yourself up and started having black Wall Streets and businesses all over the country, they came through with white militias, built KKK, and decided that they was going to chase you down, massacre you, and destroy your businesses, destroy your homes, flood your homes out with lakes, ponds, rivers, move railroad stations and all sorts of stuff through your communities, and then in turn tell you that they don't got nothing for you. They ain't trying to give you nothing in return. Nothing. No reparations, no reparative justice, nothing. No land back, nothing. And then we turn around and we say that it's our fault that we in the boat we in. We forget about everything that these people been putting us through and still putting us through mass incarceration, through all the different things that they still doing right now. We try to forget about all that and blame ourselves. How is that? When you do stuff like that, people like Martin and Malcolm and Kanye, Kenyatta X and many others, they turn over in their grave. People that gave their lives for us to be in a better place, literally gave their lives for us to speak this truth, turn over in their grave when you start blaming yourself that we in this boat. No, if you want to blame anybody, blame the promoters of this death culture that we under. Those that take the bag to promote what you see on TV. The Boys in the Hood movies, the New Jack City movies, and all these movies that program my children to think that they supposed to come out here and bang on one another. This rap gangster rap era and the hoes and the bitches that's coming out their mouth, excuse my language, and so on, that's promoting all this chaos and get the bag instead of, being honorable people. Holla at those people that's promoting it. Them the ones that's really the ones that's the problem. Them the ones that's manipulating our youth into all this chaos with the colonizers behind them, funding them big time to put this stuff out there so that way you can know about a Nas X. Yeah, no doubt. These are the ones that's going out there and picking these type of so-called low talent ass people out and putting them in front of your face, putting them in front of your children's face. These are the ones you should be more mad at than the people that are coming up watching this stuff, because they learned it from them. It's a trickle-down effect, not a trickle-up effect. So it's trickling down from them up there, up top, into the communities all around us, because they're promoting it. That's who you're supposed to be mad at. That's who you're supposed to be out there with your boycotting and your picking and your protesting for, with your sticks and your banners and stuff, saying you don't want no more promotion of the violence. That's what you're supposed to be saying. You're supposed to be mad at the people that's learning the violence from the promoters that's promoting the violence. They don't know no better. These are your youth and children coming up, teenagers, young adults. What about the adults that you're supposed to hold accountable who's actually promoting it? This is that reality. This is what we under. That's why it's a death culture to us, because they're willing to fund it for people that are the house brothers and sisters, get them the bag that's willing to turn their back on their own people and then promote this chaos to our people. And then you turn around and you be mad at the young man and the young woman who don't know nothing. Just getting to the planet 15 years. Just getting to the planet 16 years. Just getting to the planet 17 years. You've been here 30, 40, and 50 years, allowing these 30, 40, and 50-year-old men and women to promote this garbage to these children and then blame them children. Come on, man. Let's get right. Let's make some sense about ourselves. So when we think about Martin Luther King, let's think about the reality behind what he was saying when it comes to why he off the planet today, and that's that economics. That's that reality of going to the communities of ghettos, slums, and hoods that we've been beat down, smashed down, crushed down, massacred down, Holocaust down, and genocide down into by the colonizers that control the economic power of America. Let's just be real, because that's where we at. That's what it's about. That's what his birthday should be about. Getting that bag, like he said. Going up to Washington and getting what? That check that they owe us. Because since we've been under these people, political might and political power, we've been played. That's all it is. That's all it is. And we've been played in the worst and most heinous manners of all times. Because we still going through it right now. Our Holocaust is still going on. They don't even want you talking about it no more. You got DeSantis and all them dudes in Florida don't even want to teach our history. Why? Because that real history getting out. That delectable Negro history is getting out. How they used to eat our people. Delectable Negro. Look it up. Black babies for gator bait. Market it. These are real realities. Some of the most heinous atrocities that ever happened to a people under cattle slavery. You ain't even a human. Yeah, you ain't human. That's what they told you. That's what they said about your children. And they still capitalize it on this day because they kept what they did. Their money is from pure bloodshed. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Or can we be real as a people? We keep having these different hella days coming up, but we ain't dealing with the real truth of the matter behind them. We coming up with our own excuses to take part in them and stuff. Well, we're going to take part in Martin Luther King's birthday and so-called holiday. Then let's talk about that real. Let's talk about how our communities ain't getting no resources, but we running out in drones and voting. Voting for what? Yeah, exactly. We ain't getting half or nothing what these people putting out when it comes to benefits to all these other nations. That's why they doing better than us. And y'all running around here talking about, oh, well, it gotta be the Negro. Well, it gotta be the Negro still under their oppressors. That's what it is. Never been liberated, never been separated from their oppressors, inheritors of our oppression. What kind of reality you think we supposed to be under if we ain't never been separated from the people that came to destroy you? We don't care if they passed it down to their inheritors. It's a pass down. That's what it is, to maintain what they stolen and what maintain the destruction of what their forefathers have done to us. Because if it's not that truth, then why we ain't separated yet? Why we ain't dealing under our own government? Why we ain't dealing under our own schools? Why we ain't dealing under our own school curriculums? Why we ain't dealing under our own hospitals? Why we ain't dealing under our own culture when it comes to our own reality? Why we ain't dealing under our own nutrition? Why we ain't dealing under our own reality?